Hello, welcome to Rational Vids. Today I'm doing a commentary on a Sam Seder video called Here's the Thing About Third Parties in the USA. If you don't know, Majority Report with Sam Seder. He claims to be a progressive, but I think he does a lot of interference for the Democratic Party. And furthermore, he doesn't really serve the real left's purposes. He's always smeared like the Medicare for All marches, the force the vote stuff, all sorts of stuff that I disagree with him on. So he's going to make a commentary on third parties in the U.S.
That Hinkle guy, I just don't understand the faction of the left that is trying to, I guess, undermine everything that the left is trying to do in terms of gaining power in Congress. I just don't understand this tactic because if they're so convinced that they're so correct about everything, then why don't they run for office? Hell, I'll support them.
Look, why don't they run for office if they're so correct about everything? Because here's the thing. Nobody likes the two-party system. Nobody. I don't even know most people I know don't like it. And the fact that this guy thinks that Jackson Hinkle, who runs the dive, the fact that he thinks he's trying to undermine left-wing movements in this country is absolutely fucking ridiculous. He supports workers' rights, full stop, and also wants us to do more direct action rather than just vote for the two-party system that has corrupted this country for decades now. But even worse is that whoever this caller is thinks that undermining the left means undermining candidates for Congress, except the candidates in the Democratic Party ultimately just buy in to the establishment narrative all the damn time. So you never have any dissent within the two-party system. You never have opposition. It's controlled opposition, really, is what it is. The Democratic Party portrays themselves as, the party for workers, party for equality, all this good stuff that has a left-wing tone to it. But when it comes down to it, during the actual votes in Congress, the Democrats are as right-wing as ever. So let's continue.
Look, they run for office, I'll support them. They aren't doing anything.
There are factions of the left that believe that electoral politics are not the way to go, which I can understand.
I don't understand their plan.
Well, I can understand that. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with it. I mean, my perspective.
They're not completely anti-electoral politics. They're anti the two-party system.
Yeah. Well, no, but that is a distinct cohort than who someone like Hinkle and Dorr represent.
How is that a distinct cohort, though? Because that's exactly what Hinkle and Dorr represent.
They, in my estimation, have no ideological issue with electoral politics. They're just, I think at some level they're either just stupid or willfully stupid. There is no offering of another viable. I think they're just trying to fill a niche in some respects in terms of what they talk about, because there is no viable third, way for this. They are those guys were very much associated with some online political party, the People's Party.
Yeah.
People's Party.
Wow. And then Sam pretends that he doesn't know what the People's Party is, which is all the people who are dissatisfied with how the Democratic Party is done. They're moving to the People's Party to support an actual left-wing movement, which Dorr and Hinkle both support. And if Dorr and Hinkle, I know they've stated multiple times that they are against the current system of electoral politics. They hate both parties, and rightfully so, because no matter who you vote for in this country now, nothing that you want as a leftist gets done. Like, not at the federal level, not even at state level. Sometimes we get local level concessions, but local level only goes so far, So the fact that they are ultimately smearing Jimmy Dore and Jackson Hinkle over their support for the People's Party and third parties by stating that they don't work is just reinforcing two-party narrative, which is exactly what Sam Seder is trying to do here.
And my understanding is that it's that thing, to the extent that it ever existed, is completely imploding.
And to say it existed is probably charitable.
Yes, yeah. And
it's just getting started, baby. I mean, the People's Party, how old is it? It's not even that old. It's like maybe 1 to 2 years old. It was formed by people from the Bernie Sanders coalition, dude. Real progressives, real leftists fighting for real change. Real change, real reformative change in the way we think about politics. Because if the People's Party or any other third party presents a viable option for anybody, then it's legitimate. And they therefore have a legitimate right to challenge both the Republicans and the Democrats. And these pieces of shit on the majority report are saying, oh no, you can't have a third party. You can't have a third party. Third parties are impossible. People's Party is just a way to funnel votes for the Republicans. Shut up.
I mean, look, we got an invite, and I'll let you go and just talk about it. We got an email the other day from somebody who's a campaign manager. I can't remember the name of the candidate, who's running on the Forward Party, right? Is that what it's called?
The Andrew Yang's thing?
The Andrew Yang thing.
Yeah.
They're running on the Forward Party. And I think they're running against, in New York 8, and I think that's Jeffries, right? Hakeem Jeffries.
The Forward Party, dude, the Forward Party is about as real of a third party as the Democratic Socialists of America were a third party. They both are connected with the Democratic Party, and they run interference for the Democrats. The Forward Party, Yang's new thing, and you've seen how many cringe comments Yang has made in the past year. Why would you then go ahead and support something that will just redirect votes to the Democrats? Because that's what the Forward Party ultimately is. It's not a real third party. Do you want me to research what the Forward Party is? It's a political action committee. It's not a party. It's split from, apparently, it's split from the Democratic Party. If this provides an alternative, then I'm good with it. But let's see. I mean, it's something. I mean, it's something. I guess. I mean, it's better than the current system, but at the same time, Yang is not exactly somebody who has been my favorite candidate recently. He used to be until he started making all of these stupid comments about Israel, this and that and the other thing, how he sides with CNN now. I mean, this guy is just an actor, mostly. If the PAC intends to seek recognition from the Federal Election Commission as a political party to achieve its stated goal of providing an alternative to the two major American parties. If this is true, then I want to see what they can do. But I think a party that's going under the name radical centrism is not exactly a party I would go ahead and just support without looking into it even further.
Eight, maybe.
New York 8, Bradley.
I'll look it up.
And
Okay.
and so I'm interested. I don't know if there's going to be somebody who's going to primary Hakeem Jeffries in New York. My guess is unlikely.
Right.
Because he's a very prominent, like he could be, like he's sort of like the next Crowley. And I imagine anybody challenging him is going to feel like there's, so let me put this with you. if there's a good Democratic primary challenge to him, I'm interested. I'm also interested in this instance with a third party candidate. The problem is I go to the website and I'm like trying to find the issues, and like there was a one or two process issues. There's sort of UBI, which in and of itself I don't have a problem with, but I need to know the context in which it's in there. We know
if you're appealing to libertarians, it's a little bit
we knew it. Andrew Yang.
If it's at the expense of like already existing social programs and the way that Yang was pushing for it.
I mean, certainly that's the way he expressed it to Dave Rubin. I mean, so I'm interested, but like, don't send me an email till your website's done. I don't like. I'm searching around the website and I'm finding like a.
I mean, I would agree with them on Yang's position on UBI, because the reason a lot of libertarians support universal basic income is that they want that to replace every other social program that we've got so far, such as Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, all that stuff. And I don't agree. If we're implementing UBI in that way, then I definitely don't agree. I do want to see reforms in the Social Security system to serve the people they actually need to serve, rather than the people who just take advantage of the system. And Medicare for all, I mean, that's something everybody should support. So if that's going to be all replaced with UBI, then I don't see a good goal there. Yeah.
Literally, I think one of the entries is like, this is where you put your story in about and I'm like, this is where I put the story. And I realized like, oh, wait, this website's launched and they still haven't filled out all and like, you can get away with that if you're a podcast like us, right? Where it's like, I still have like, I haven't updated the website in 12 years or something. But I mean, if you're going to run for a candidate and you're going to start trying to get interviews, I mean, let's see the issues out there. I want to see what the issues are. And here is an example of, again, in principle, I have no problem with third parties.
But you just said that third parties don't work, and you also said that you can only vote Republican or Democrat, and of course, being the majority report, you're going to funnel all your viewers into the Democratic Party again. So don't say you're for third parties on principle when you just said you oppose third parties.
But I need to know what the theory of change is. How you're going to win, and how it's not going to be, what the risk reward situation is. How's that for Andrew Yang speak?
Okay, risk reward situation. Well, let's look at the fact that there's absolutely no risk voting. I mean, there's no risk for Sam and just voting for another Democrat, because, hey, there's no risk for voting for a system that's already in place, right? There's always going to be risk involved in creating a new party and trying to foment the change you want to see. But the rewards from this ultimately is that you get more support, you get more of a movement behind you as you're creating your third party. I don't think Sam understands the concept of risk and reward as he thinks he does. So that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed.